Greetings, fellow Arrow fans. We're look at Arrow Season 4 now continues on with Beyond Redemption. The scene opens on a gathering of goons in a distribution center. We're taken up by a SWAT group led by a female cop. A couple of casually dressed cops come in, and when they attempt to stop what she's doing, she brings them down as well. Afterward, Thea and Laurel are contending about aligning Oliver concerning Sarah. Laurel doesn't need him to know. Diggle goes along with them, saying that Oliver has made a major declaration, and when he appears with Felicity, they expect the two have gotten ready for marriage. Oliver reveals to them that he's chosen to run for City Hall leader, and Team Arrow is nonplussed. In the storm cellar of the Crusade office, which used to have a place with Jason Blood, is another Arrow lair, planned by Cisco and Star Labs. Felicity knows about the cops who were discovered dead, and Diggle is going to take off to search for proof. Oliver is going to converse with Lance. Arrow is taken up with the shooting when Oliver appears and converses with him and discloses to him he's chosen to run for City Hall leader. Arrow leaves when he gets a book from Laurel, and Oliver takes the proof to process. In the flashback, Oliver helps the lady he saved a week ago, giving her a haven and tips on the best way to hang out. He has an arrangement. In the present, Walt is attempting to make sense of who the Green Arrow is. Felicity requests that he assist her with discovering who hacked her telephone. He says it wasn't him, yet it looks natural. It helps him to remember some code of rays. He recorded an announcement before his demise, yet Felicity doesn't generally need to see it. At the lair, Oliver gives Felicity a SIM card he got from the wrongdoing scene. She translates where it originated from, dependent on past areas, and Team Arrow gets ready to go there. It's unfilled, aside from one room where there's no individuals, yet an ordinance. It discovers by a defensive layer having a place with the police and makes sense of their messy cops murdering individuals. Laura brings Lance into the storm cell of her high-rise, where Feral Sarah is fastened to a post. He's befuddled with regards to what occurred, and he's damaged at seeing what Sarah has become. Laura reveals to him he will be all right. When Sarah gets Laurel, he pushes her off. Back at the lair, all of our friends talk about the grimy cops and how to discover street pharmacists. They and Diggle head out covert to a dance club and begin making a few inquiries. Back at the police division, Lance is at his work area when Oliver comes to reveal to him it was a messy cop, not groups, who murdered the investigators. Arrow needs to be there when they bait the grimy cops in. In the flashback, Oliver accuses the other warriors' demise for another landmine, and one of the others doesn't trust him and demands seeing the lady's body. As Diggle and Thea set time for the grimy cops, Arrow makes Lance aware of a coming vehicle. A firefight breaks out between Team Arrow, the SWAT officials, and Lance. The lady cop before waves custom edges, however it's brief. Leave without the medication, yet Team Arrow doesn't get them into care, making the snare sort of a bust. Back at the lair, Lance is truly disturbed about the way that they've effectively back ready for action, tech-wise. He sees that the counter-vigilante team had the sort of innovative apparatus the Philly cops were utilizing, now for to impart area assets to Felicity to accelerate the examination. The task force needs to execute Lance. However, Lady Cop dismisses thought, saying she can utilize him. Walt has spent time to get hold of Felicity, revealing to her that he's nearly discovered Ray's last message. She lets him know that she wouldn't like to hear that. Walt says his sibling passed on a couple of years back, and he would murder to hear his voice once more. Shortly thereafter, Damon, Dark, and Lance are talking. He educates Dark regarding Sarah's restoration and requests assistance with her. Dark says on the off chance that it was his little girl, he put her down, that it isn't Sarah any longer. At the lair, Felicity names Liza Warner as the lady cop. She's restoring huge aggregates into Seaward financial balances. She's attempting to utilize dashboard cams to perceive her. Oliver, however, sees Lance conversing with Damien Dark. At the point when Lance gets back home, Oliver is sitting tight for him to go up against him about his dealings with Dark. The two contend. Oliver discloses to him he's the explanation Ollie chose to run for civic chairman. He needed to intrigue Lance, and now he's simply nauseated by him. In the flashback, the following Oliver discloses to him that there's something dull inside him, that he can reveal to it isn't all he's first execute. He says he's similar way, and only will discover if he's lying. In the present, Oliver reveals to Thea that he needed to be the individual who joined Star City, similar to when they were at ball games as children. He figures the city might be past sparing, and that he doesn't need to run. At the storm cell of Laurel's loft, Detective Sarah is taking a gander at old photographs. Lance comes to shoot her. Laurel stops him, and the two cry together before Lance runs off. In the lobby outside of his loft, the grimy cops are sitting tight for him. Warner beats him up while two others hold him. At that point, Laurel comes and beats 2 or 3 folks in the foyer before they tase her, take Lance, and run. Warner takes Lance to her little base, where she accepts she is certifiably not a criminal. They've set his biometrics up to open the entryway, which is fine, so that place Felicity can see where he is. Mama Cop and her goons are all taking all the stash they can convey and leaving. However, Timur arrives and appears and stops them. Grano liberates Lance, who Warner had tied up, and the two gatherings battle. Sooner or later, Warner gets a decisive advantage over Oliver, placing a blade in his back and taking steps to cut off his spinal line. Arrow talks her down, speaking to her feeling of equity, and he captures her. Back at Lance's condo, Oliver inquires as to whether he truly has faith in what he said to Warner. Instead of turning himself in, Oliver requests that Lance assist him with drawing near to dark. In the flashbacks, Oliver carries the warrior to see the lady, who spies still in the cavern where he left her. He brings her back with a fast flip of the wrist and reveals to her he learned it on the island. Outside, the fighter discovers Oliver's ARC escape PC. At his crusade office the following morning, Oliver comes in and discovers the spot staffed up. Thea had acquired them to work and composed Oliver discourse, which he conveys before long. While he's doing as such, we slice back to Oliver tuning into Ray's message. She's at the discourse as well, it's simply altering. In the storm cell of her condo, Laura goes to see Sarah, and she has gotten away. That's not good. So anyway, let's take a look at some trivia surrounding this episode. When Curtis Holt is trying to guess who the Green Arrow is, he guesses Neil Adams in data processing. Neil Adams was the artist on some of the most famous Green Arrow comic runs. It was at this time Oliver became more of a streetwise crusader for the working class and the disadvantaged, much like the character is in the show. So overall, I think this is a very interesting episode, and yeah, when Oliver finds out that Sarah's alive, I still don't know how he's going to react to that, so yeah, anyway. So overall, I give Beyond Redemption 4 arrowheads out of 5. Anyway, tune in as we take the next episode, Haunted. So, until then, in the words of Oliver Queen, you have failed this city.